everybody, this is Lady Kaylah here, and welcome to the Geekdom. I know I'm so sorry, I'm so behind my Game of Thrones reviews. To be honest, the previous episode, episode 6 of Game of Thrones, I honestly just did not feel like reviewing it. There were good bits in there. I felt like it was mostly just to let you know where all the characters were in the story, and while there were some like juicy bits with a lot of information, I felt like it was mostly like set up, so I just wouldn't review it. It was also my birthday week, so that's another reason why I kind of just didn't feel like reviewing it. And I know with this episode 7 review, it's late because soon they're going to start playing Game of Thrones for my time zone, and that will be episode 8. That's going to be coming on really soon, possibly by the time this gets uploaded. So, anyways, episode 7 is called The Bear and the Maiden Fair, and I'm not going to go over every single scene that happened. I'm just going to talk about parts that I picked out that I want to talk about myself. And I'll start with Jon Snow, and Jon Snow is starting to pick up interest with me again because we'll get a couple episodes just to let us know where he's at, but now he's finally starting to get some more action and a little bit more motive and a little bit more character development and character interaction. And we see, you know, with Ygritte, she has feelings for him, she legitimately loves him, and we see that he has the same feelings in return because he tries to kind of like save her and warn her that like the wildlings won't win, but we see that she's just too much of a wildling. Like there's no way she's ever going to stop being a wildling and give up her place. She's not like she fears death, and I think she noticed when Jon Snow separated himself from them and he said, "You're all gonna die," and he didn't say, "We're all gonna die." I think she noticed that, and that's why she like kissed him so fiercely, because I think she's still trying to convert him to being a wildling and keep him, but and because she loves him, she's not exactly gonna betray him by saying, "Oh, I noticed he didn't say we." Whatever. That's where Jon Snow is right now. They're starting to make their way. So it's setting up action that's going to happen when the wildlings decide to attack the wall. Next, I want to talk about Robb's scene where we find out that Talisa is pregnant, and that seems to be the only bit of information that I really wanted to talk about, because in the books, it's theorized that his wife, who's not named Talisa, is pregnant, but it's never really confirmed. So this is another thing that I'm just like, oh, so does that mean in the books she really is pregnant? So I don't know. I guess we'll see. It's not really too big of a thing. Like once we theorize about her pregnancy in the books, it's kind of just like a side story. It's not really that relevant, so I don't know what they're going to do with it in the show, if it'll become relevant or not. So in a way, I'm kind of like, oh, I don't know, that's exciting. And then at the same time, I'm like, oh, I don't know, now I don't know what's going to happen, what are we going to do? So we'll see. And then next we get, you know, Tyrion and Sansa. I'm just going to kind of put them together because they're engaged to one another now, and Sansa's freaking out because Tyrion's a Lannister, and obviously she feels, you know, scared because she doesn't like the Lannisters, especially after what Joffrey's done and what a cruel person Cersei can be. And, you know, Marjorie's kind of just throwing some logic at her, saying, you know, has Tyrion ever been mean to you? You know, Tyrion's not that bad looking. This is our duty as ladies. And, so she's throwing some logic at Sansa, so she's consoling Sansa. Sansa doesn't seem to be as scared anymore. And so on Tyrion's side, Tyrion, you know, is talking with Bronn. He's like, Sansa's really young. I don't know if he's lying to himself, saying that he doesn't want to be with Sansa sexually, but it kind of seems like he is. But anyways, he has Shay to worry about because he's professed his love for her. And I don't know what Tyrion was thinking that he would always be with Shay, or what he was thinking, because he knew as a Lord's son he would eventually have to get wedded off. And so Shay's response kind of, I don't know what to think about it because, you know, Shay always reminds herself that she is a whore, and yet she's really upset with Tyrion, even though Tyrion really has no choice in the marriage matters. She did mention running away, but Tyrion's like, no, look, I got it good here. Like, my father might be an asshole, but I have it good here. And so he decides not to run off with her, and she's pissed. And yes, she does have reason to be pissed. I mean, anybody, whether you're a whore or not, would be upset that, you know, someone you care about, someone you love, is marrying someone else. And, she probably wouldn't mind being the side woman if Tyrion didn't love her. Like, if she was literally just his whore, she wouldn't have minded at all. She'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll be your whore. But he has professed his love for her, and she's professed her love for him. So, you know, now she, you know, whereas before she didn't really feel like a whore with him, now she really does, because she will be the lady on the side. So, I'm kind of half and half with Shay, because I'm like, as a whore, you know, like, that this was going to happen eventually. But then again, like, as someone who has feelings, I understand that, yeah, she loves him, she has feelings for him, that's why she's upset. But, that's what's going on. And, with Daenerys is probably one of the main reasons I look forward to Game of Thrones. She's just been having really, really good, scenes this season, whereas before I wasn't looking forward to her seasons. Now, this season I am, and I said it before, and I'll say it again, that this is definitely Daenerys' season. And so she comes across the next city, who also happens to be a slave city, and she wants to save it. And, you know, they're contemplating, they're like, we don't need to take it, we don't really need to go there if you don't want to. But, you know, she asks how many slaves there are, and she's like, well, that's how many reasons we have to take the city. So she gives the leaders of Yunkai ultimatum. She's basically like, I'll spare you your lives, you just let go of all your slaves and we'll just move on out of here, and it'll be like nothing happened. But they're really prideful, and at the same time, you know, while Daenerys does have an army behind her, they have really secure walls, so it looks like it's going to be, you know, they have no reason to quite fear her just yet, because they do have very solid walls. So it looks like they're going to go the war route as opposed to just submitting to her, and so we'll see how she deals with them when it comes to that. So another character is Arya, and, you know, she feels really betrayed by these people. They're kind of just like a band of bandits, and even though they might have like an honorable cause, like Robin Hood and his brotherhood, they're kind of like the same way. They're still scoundrels, and they'll still do things for money, and even though they kind of have like a religious cause as well, they still need money. And so she's pissed that they got rid of Gendry. She feels so betrayed. And then, like, to top it all off, they decide not to go where they said they were going to go, where she can finally see her mother and brother. And now she feels betrayed because she really wants to see her family, or what's left of her family, and they decide to go kill off some Lannisters or whatnot. So she runs away, I guess, to go see her family herself, I don't know. And she gets scooped up by the Hound, and I'm really excited because I've read the book. So the Arya and the Hound adventure or whatever, skirmish or whatever, it's like one of my favorite things, and so I'm really excited to see how that's going to happen. And now that the Arya and the Hound are finally together, we're going to see their interaction and their character interaction, and I'm just so excited. I can't wait. So I really liked when, you know, what is his name? Beric was like, well, who's your god? And Arya's like, death. And I'm just like, that's so Arya. And, you know, she's a lot more like darker and brooding in the books, but since, you know, they have to cut a lot of details, like that just singular line was just enough to like just capture Arya's character, especially how dark she gets. And so I really like how they just capture that entire essence with one line, and it just makes me so excited. Next, I just want to talk about Theon and Ramsay, because oh my gosh, like, in the books, we never get the Theon's point of view when Ramsay tortures him. We get it, like, later down on the road where he's still, like, kind of getting, you know, tortured by Ramsay, especially, like, mental torture. But we never actually really see a lot of the torture that goes on. And so, you know, just the implications were enough and, like, just sickening enough that you felt bad for Theon. And here in the show, we're actually getting it, like, up close and personal. We're actually seeing him being tortured and what kind of mind games Ramsay's playing with Theon. And it's just gross. And it's creepy. And I don't know, I'm disturbed by it. Someone said that they didn't find it that disturbing, but I really do, like, because, like, even though they might not show too much, there's the implications there, and it's really enough, and it's pretty brutal. And I saved my favorite for last, which is Jaime and Brienne, because the Jaime and Brienne adventures are another one of my favorites, and I think that the show's really capturing it and really getting it down and making me excited for it. And, I ship Jaime and Brienne, like, romantically, but since we don't get that, I understand that at the very least, like, Brienne is basically Jaime's first friend, so even if he might not love her romantically, that's, like, one of his first friends. Like, after he killed the Mad King, he got, like, so much crap for it, and we see that, you know, he was such an asshole, he probably never really had any friends, or any true friends, and, you know, Brienne's the first person he's probably legitimately cared for beside Tyrion and Cersei. And so he actually goes back for her when he realizes that she's in a lot more danger than he initially thought, even though he was sad to part from her anyways. We see him, like, push back any remainder of selfishness that he might have and go back for her and even do the most selfless act, which is jump in the bear pit with one hand, with unarmed, I think he was unarmed, I don't remember, and, you know, still he has one hand, he's injured, and he goes in there to save her, and he, like, was just doing all that out of, like, just pure luck, hoping that he might save her somehow. He didn't really have much of a plan, and so that was really awesome. That was really selfless of him, and I really liked when I think Locke was his name. He said, "Buy yourself a golden hand and go fuck yourself with it." And I was like, the foreshadowing. I loved it, and I don't think that line was ever said in the books, but for the show, I found it really fun line, and I loved it. Just like the bastard line that they used in what's it called? Before Ramsay reveals that he is torturing Theon. And I really like that foreshadow, and that little, like, clue was awesome. So I'll be watching the newest episode, tonight's episode, and I'm so excited. I think I gave away a little bit of spoiler in this particular review that I did. I'm so sorry. I'll kind of note that, so hopefully people are warned before they watch it. I typically try to make my reviews both friendly for book readers and non-book readers, so that nobody gets spoiled about anything, but I think I kind of did it this one. I'm so sorry. Anyways, if you want to talk to me outside of YouTube, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr. All that good stuff will be in the description below. And thank you for your time. Bye.